Hey guys, thank you for tuning in for my what is it, Wednesday night update. It is December 12th, 29th, 2021. Well, I could have said that way better, but I got something in my eye. Jesus. But I hope you guys are doing good. Since the New Year's ending and it's been raining, so there's like hardly any traffic. It's beautiful, you know. Oh my shit, man! It's like the kind of felt like the beginning of the pandemic where nobody was going anywhere, you know. And I got to work really, really fast. But yeah, like today, I went to work, and since everybody's kind of winding down, like a lot of people called out today, so it's kind of like bare bones crew. And today, like as the end day was ending, I saw this. I saw in the conference room there were boxes of donuts, and I kept walking by it, go back and forth. You know, like going back to the restroom and going back to my cubicle. And it was, nobody was there, and it was like the end of the day, everybody left. I'm like, fuck it, I'm taking a donut. And they didn't offer any donuts, but I took a blueberry donut, and I rushed it to my desk and I ate it like a fatty. It was pretty good. It was Dunkin' Donuts. But yeah, and then coming back to work, coming back home, we had some ribs and just winding down the day. I love it when it rains because you feel like very cozy. You know, you just don't want to. We nest. You know what I mean? We just chill in the living room, and oh yeah, since last time we spoke, it was Christmas Eve, right, guys? And for Christmas, I hope you guys had a great Christmas or whatever holiday you were celebrating this weekend. But as I spent it with my mom and my younger brother, and we're going to start this new tradition. And that was actually my younger brother's idea about before we really get into the festivities of the Christmas, we drive around like a neighborhood that has Christmas lights and check out the Christmas decorations in the neighborhood. And we went somewhere like in Whittier, and we were there for an hour just checking out different decorations, and it was pretty cool, like the way people get creative with their Christmas decorations. And my mom loved it. She said like she hasn't gone out late at night in a very, very long time, and that made me feel that made me I know that made my brother feel pretty great too, that we took out my mom to see, sightseeing. And when we got back home, we had some pozole, and then we I you know I busted out the jigsaw puzzle that I bought because I wanted that to be like our new thing. But the only like I found out that night that my family is not a jigsaw puzzle type of family. I was really frustrated. Like the pieces weren't fitting. And it was like a 700 piece, 700 puzzle piece, and I couldn't figure it out. Like I was trying to put the pieces together, but like I was trying to match the colors, but like things were matching, but I don't know, like they were like looking a little weird, but the pieces, like they synced up, but they didn't. And my mom saw that I was getting frustrated, and it's like Christians, like just relax, like why are you doing like let's put this away. My mom said just let's put this away and play something else, and I agreed. Like after an hour of trying, to put a face together, like it didn't happen, and we just put the puzzle away, and we busted out la loteria, and that ended out to be like the best choice. And that night on Christmas Eve, we called my brother in Texas, and he was celebrating Christmas with his family, and I wish I would have thought about this idea. They were building a Lego sets, so they bought like personal Lego things to build, and the whole family was building it, and I thought that was a great idea. I'm like, perfect. That's like not too complicated. It's great. It's fun building a Lego set. It didn't even dawn on me. So maybe next year, next Christmas, I'll buy like some like little Legos and build that, and and not get frustrated. But how are you guys doing tonight? Do you guys had a great Christmas? Do you guys spend it with your family? So what did you guys do? Please comment, and we'll talk during the show. But during this long weekend, I checked out like a lot of movies. I checked out, let's see, I checked out Scrooged. I checked out Don't Look Up, and I also saw Spider Man, No Way Home, and I also watched The Matrix. So with Scrooged, well, this is like the most movies I watched like in a very long time, like in a weekend. I usually kind of space them out, but like this 3 day weekend, I just indulged on watching some movies, and it was pretty cool. The first one, Scrooge, because we watched it on Christmas Day, and for those who don't know about that movie, it's a movie starring Bill Murray, and it's directed by Richard Donner. And if you guys don't know who Richard Donner is, or that name sounds familiar, he's the one who directed the original Superman. He directed The Omen, the original Omen. He directed The Goonies and some other movie. But he's a very like he passed away, I think, this year or last year, Richard Donner. But he made a lot of popular movies. But anyways, this was his movie and it was great. Like in the soundtrack, it was like you knew it was Danny Elfman. I haven't seen Scrooged in a very long time because partly because I didn't want to rent it. So I says like fuck it, it's just $2.99. I'll just rent it this time. And I haven't seen that movie in a long, long time, uncensored, because I remember watching it as a kid, censored. So a lot of the jokes finally, like it finally landed, and I knew like it's a grown up movie. It's rated R, and it's a really good retelling of A Christmas Carol, and it's modern. It still plays. It's still like it's a good classic movie to watch, and it's if you guys don't know the Christmas Carol. If you guys are living under a rock, the Christmas Carol about like this banker who gets he's a terrible person, like he's like you don't want to be around him because he's so negative, he's nasty, he loves money and he hates people. And uh and he gets visited by three spirits that night because if he doesn't save his soul, he's going to be damned for all eternity. And in this one, Scrooge is basically the same thing. Like the Bill Murray character, he's like this network executive, and he gets visited by his old boss who died playing golf. So he's all like, he looks like he's like a corpse, a walking corpse. Like it's really good. You guys should check that out. But yeah, and then if what other movie they watched? Oh yeah, we also watched the Matrix movie that night. We watched it Christmas night. My buddy John Lance came down, and it was an okay movie. I was talking to my friend Emmanuel right before our show right now, and I said it was a C minus, and he liked it more than I did, and we just had like a discussion, and I don't know, like with me, like it's an entertaining movie, and it's kind of like I don't know if you guys remember watching this movie called Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, it's a story about how the main characters play themselves, and the Freddy Krueger character is so evil he comes out of the script and starts terrorizing like its creators. And in the Matrix 4, the Matrix movies that we saw like 20 years ago, that's like all a video game, and that's like as much as I'm going to say. But it's kind of like that Wes Craven field, you know what I mean? But what I didn't care to I wish what they would have done with the Matrix. I wish they would have pushed their cinematic envelope more, because with the first movie, it was so groundbreaking with like their camera techniques, the slow motion movement, and just like the ideology of the Matrix. It was so groundbreaking, and with like they built. I think in the second movie they built their own freeway because they had like this huge fight scene, and in this movie, it just felt like very like contained, like screen. Like it didn't seem like they were pushing too much. They weren't creating something like grander for the franchise. Say like in Inception, you know how Christopher Nolan built a set where like it's in the dream world, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they're doing like this fight sequence, and like the whole room is spinning around, and they're doing that like physically. They should have, like in the new Matrix movie, they should have done like something mind trippy, like in that scope. Since they were coming back after like 19 years. But it's fun to see like Neo and the gang, and see how they're reprising their roles, and like what's going on with the new Matrix. It's interesting to watch, but I wish they would have had a little bit more time to develop this story and the look of it. But you guys should check it out, and then we'll have a discussion afterwards. And then after that on Sunday, we watched Spider-Man No Way Home, and this is a story. So we ended up getting the tickets, right? We ended up getting the tickets to go see Spider-Man. And when we were heading to the Edward Theaters, we thought we were going to the town center. And John was actually driving. We were on the 605 going to Carson, to the Cerritos Square or whatever. Like the one that's off Carson. He was heading there, but like Alex and me, we were like, where are you going? We got tickets for the other theater. And then so you were cutting it really close. We were like, all right, no problem. Like, that's why we left early. And, and, and then like, I'm not gonna give you spoilers. This is more like my story of getting to watch Spider-Man. So we ended up when we finally got to the town center in Cerritos. So it was like good. We had plenty of time to get popcorn, treats, like sit down and relax, and then watch the trailers and all that. And when Alex busts out his phone to show to the usher, she looked at the ticket and she said, "You're at the wrong Edwards. It's the Edwards off Carson." So so John was actually going to the right place, and we were both wrong. And I was going off, Alex thinking that he purchased the tickets to the one in the town center. So like we were like, I was irritated, because like now like we were like we were really close. Like we were gonna make it on time. Say if I were gonna buy the tickets and then find a seat, like luckily now we live in an age where like you purchase the tickets and those seats are reserved. So it's like I wasn't too stressing about it, but I was stressing about it because like what? So we had to turn all the way back around and go back where we were coming from, and we hit like a pocket of traffic, and of course also finding parking, and then like I was like stressing it because I hate being late for especially for a movie. Even if I'm gonna miss the coming attractions. Like I have to get settled in and watch the whole story. And, and it was funny because like we were rushing it. Like we were like once we parked, we like Alex and me, we both like took off and we kind of left John behind. And so he had to like he had to run, he had to catch up, and he was mad. But we didn't. We got there. It was the trailers were playing, and we got there just in time to watch the whole movie. And we didn't have time to buy what's it called, popcorn or soda. So we ended up just watching the movie. And you know what? Watching Spider-Man in the movie theater, like I wish I watched it at home because like the theater was too packed. I mean, it's great for the movie studio, but like we didn't get the nice seats, so we were like in the old school movie theater where like you couldn't recline and everybody was kind of like on top of each other. And I was sitting next to this big lady, so I was kind of like leaning towards like Alex throughout the whole movie. And it was a plus the whole COVID thing. Everybody was wearing their mask, and I didn't wear my mask. I didn't care. I'm not gonna watch like a 2-hour movie with a mask on. So the movie was great. It was kind of like it was just a pain in the ass to go to the movie theater. It was like, I wish I could have watched it at home. I know that's terrible for somebody who loves movies, but like I just got really comfortable just watching movies at home. Just pausing it and not having people like I just me and the TV. Like it's just like it kind of took me out of it a little bit. While watching Spider-Man in the movie theater with like a packed house and everybody's kind of like breathing on each other. And I was hearing people's comments through the movie, and it was just like I don't know. And then I also had to rush to the restroom too. And one of the stalls was broken, so I had to wait in line to take a piss, and then had to run back to the movie theater. I was like, it was like an ordeal. So yeah, it was a good movie. Uh, like I had like when I watched Spider Man No Way Home, and like you guys should check it out. It's definitely like a if you love the franchise, I think this is really good addition to the Spider Man verse, and it's really cool to see. Like I hope you guys know. I mean, like I don't want I don't want to give anything away, but I guess the only thing that I'm gonna say that there was a moment where Doc Ock and Spider Man they do their thing, and it was like 20 years since I seen them together, and I had a little moment, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it came full circle, you know, and I teared up. I teared up, and I wish everybody saw it in this group right here. Thanks guys for commenting. I really appreciate it. But yeah, you guys need to check out the Spider Man movie. It's fun. It's loads of fun. And let me see what you guys are commenting. Robert gave me a emoji happy face. Ariana, hi Ariana, and Deb. No spoilers. Yeah, like that sucks. And then my aunt, hi Anna. I hope you're doing okay. And then Omicron hotbed, and you are right, Omicron hotbed. And I felt real filthy when I got out of the theater. So I took a shower right away. But yes, and another movie that I also checked out this weekend, in which I didn't know too much about, And frankly, when I watched the movie and when I saw the poster of it, I didn't really care too much. I wasn't interested in watching the movie. The only reason I watched this movie is because Alex popped it on, on Netflix, and it's the movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence called Don't Look Up, and it's directed by Adam McKay. And Adam McKay, like he did a lot of Will Ferrell movies. He's a comedy director, and I'm pretty sure he was nominated for Academy Award too for a movie. So like this movie, it's if you guys don't know what Don't Look Up is about, it's a story about these two scientists who discover a comet that's heading towards Earth, and they want to, of course, they need to talk to the president, but they live in the world of now where it's about tweets, what's sensational, what plays, if it's gonna if letting this information go out that comet's heading our way, is that going to affect my poll numbers? They live in that kind of like stupid world that we live in, so they're trying to save the world, but the people who are at power, they're completely fucking incompetent. And like it was really like, you guys need to check it out. If you guys remember Armageddon and Deep Impact, it's like this movie, but like I wouldn't say serious. It's like it's a satire of today, and you guys need to check it out. It's a great movie. It kind of reminded me a little a bit of Doctor Strangelove, uh, because in Doctor Strangelove it was a satire about the people who, like, the presidents who are the president and like world leaders who are trying to protect us, but they're fighting like children. Because in the story of Doctor Strangelove is a story about this general who goes insane, and he lets out this message that they need to attack Russia, and like these bomber planes, they head towards Russia with an atomic bomb, and they recall every single one except for one, because the damage, because of the radio comms, they were damaged during like this fight sequence. And it's a really good movie, Doctor Strangelove, and it kind of like with Don't Look Up, it felt like there was parallels of that movie, of what's going on today with our world, with like, the social media, and like more like Good Morning America type of news, and Doctor Strangelove with like what they had to say during the 1960s about atomic annihilation. So you guys need to check out that movie. It's I wouldn't say it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie to watch because it's funny, because it's like you can't believe that some of the things that these characters are saying, like the world leaders. I'm like, are you shitting me? And then at the same time, you're thinking to yourself like, this could totally happen, and it's very scary, But at the end of the movie, it was one of those rare movies where like my heart was pumping, because I didn't know like I didn't know how it was going to end. I didn't know if it was going to be like a happy ending or a sad ending, or what was going to happen. And movies that have my heart beating, they become like that's when I love a movie, because I know I'm watching a movie. I know I'm watching a piece of fiction, but if that piece of fiction is really like so, I get immersed to it, and my heart starts pounding because I'm really engaged in the story. Then the filmmakers did a great job, because that's their job. So it's one of my new favorite movies. Don't Look Up. You guys should check that out. Um, but yeah, geez, I went on for a long time about movies, right? Oh, I didn't even get to my some of the stories, and I don't know. I don't really want to end it on a. Well, I guess it's not really a bad note. I mean, there's like, I'll go for it. So today, the Maxwell lady, the Epstein chick, she was sentenced today. So she was guilty on all charges about child trafficking, and she's sentenced for like about 60 to 70 years in prison. And the lady, she's 60 years old right now. She's going to spend the rest of her life in federal prison for these charges. And personally, I think that she's kind of like a scapegoat for the people who are behind the scenes, because I heard that the flight log for the Jeffrey Epstein, going to that the island, a lot of the names are redacted. They're in black, and I'm like, why why are they on black? You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? Um, but justice was served today. She was guilty on all charges, so she's going to be away for a long time. But I hope that the truth eventually comes out. I hope somebody like Edward Snowden like goes and starts doing his thing and gets those names out, because we have the right to know. And if these people are running our country and they're participating in this kind of acts, they should be tossed out. You're right. But yeah, that and again. If you guys are football fans or played football games when you guys were like small, like John Madden. He passed away yesterday, and he was like 90 something years old, and he's just yeah, he just passed away. And I'm not into sports, but like he was a staple of football. I remember in middle school always seeing this guy's face everywhere. If it was like Super Bowl Sunday, this guy was always on all the time. And of course the Madden football games, they're hugely popular. They made a video game football play popular because of his the way he narrates, the way he comments on a play. Like, it's very unique. Like, it's his style. And he also did a cameo on The Simpsons too. So I mean, yeah, he's like a football legend. I'm not gonna say that I watch football or like I know this guy like I'm a diehard fan, but he's a legend. He's an icon. Nobody's gonna replace him. He's like John Madden. Like, he's his own. That's his thing, and nobody's gonna take that away from him. But yeah, and then what else? Well, the New Year is coming up, man. Like, it's fastly approaching. It's like what, like 2 days, 3 days away. When is 2022? It's yeah, the first day of 2022 is a Saturday, and it's tripping me out, man. It's just tripping me out that it's been like 20 years since I graduated from high school. And then when I graduated from high school, I took a year off. And then when I was 19, I think it was in the year, I think it was 2003, I went to film school. So like, it's getting close to, my 20 years since I've been to film school. And look, here I am, I have a podcast and I'm writing. I'm still going. But I wish someday I'm going to direct a feature length picture. I'm getting there, but that's still there. The fire is still burning, and I'm still writing, I'm still creating, and it's all about the journey, right, guys? But yeah, it's just very trippy to be a grown up. To officially be a called a grown up, because like 10 years out of high school, like, okay, it's been 10 years, but when you start saying like 20, 30, 40 years out of high school, then it's like, oh shit, man. Like, it's been a while, like, and those memories, they're very vivid to me, you know what I mean? Like, my graduating and like my 20s, and like even like I'm 38, and even remembering my early 30s, it's just like very trippy, like it's like playing like like flashbacks in my memory. I don't know if I'm just having my little feels right now, but I hope you guys are doing great. And please remember, like, I don't know if you guys watched our Christmas special, but I announced that we are now on Spotify. So if you guys want to check out our latest episodes and our past episodes of Casually Christian, you could listen to it on Spotify right now. And please follow, and please share it to other people. And our content's only going to get better, as we go on to the next year. But yeah, and also if you guys are watching this on Facebook, please follow. And if you guys could go on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe, and smash that notification bell to catch the latest episodes of Casually Christian presented by Livestream My Event. But yeah, guys, we'll do another update this Christmas Eve, just like we did for did I say Christmas Eve? I mean New Year's Eve. We're gonna do a New Year's Eve update just like we did on Christmas Eve. So I'll see you guys on Friday around 11 o'clock, and I'll give you my resolutions. All right, guys, have a good night. Have a good one. Bye. Thanks for commenting.